simplistic, coach, but just snapping that 3-game losing streak. It was a fight, but got the job done.
Yeah, I'm glad we got the job done. Happy for our guys. We played 11 players tonight. Stonehill, I knew coming in, based on studying it, very old team, a lot of seniors, a lot of juniors, a lot of graduate transfers, and you got to play. And they execute, and they weathered, and they did some good stuff tonight. We got the game in a place where we could open it up, and then I thought we made some unforced turnovers down the stretch that we'll learn from. We had a lot of freshmen out there, and we'll learn from it and grow them up. Hopefully, we'll be better as we continue to go through the season.
Coach, how great was it to have those tight games in the Caymans where you guys kind of got some practice being in these type of situations and building that kind of composure and late in the game? How much did that help you guys in a game like today?
I think it helped us a lot. 2 minutes to go, up one, down one, and you have to just figure out how to find a way to win. Actually, against Boise State, we were down 8. We had to dig it back. But so I think we've seen a lot this year already, right? Great success, winning the championship, great adversity, losing the game that everybody said, wow, that's an awful loss, So I think we've seen both sides of it. We've seen success and adversity, and I think we're growing through it. And I'm glad we won tonight. We hadn't played in 7 days, so we needed to get back out there, but I'm glad we was able to figure it out and win the game.
Coach, kind of seemed like Stonehill got all the looks off the switches, where they pulled Benny out to the perimeter and had Fred down low. How do you encourage you guys to approach that? Do you want to switch everything, or do you want to?
Well, the night we wanted to, because 50% of their points come from the 3-point line. We didn't think the 2 could beat us. We thought the 3 could beat us, right? So, 3 is worth more than 2. And so we just decided, hey, we're going to live with a few 2s. But there were a few things we could have done better with the switches. We're having some backside help. You front the post and have some backside help, force a skip, and then you go put that fire out. But so we'll learn from that. Again, it's a situation that they really did some good stuff to put us in some vulnerable situations. But again, you learn from it and you move on, and just happy for our guys because we had been through a good tough patch. We had lost a few games back to back. So any win is a good win, Rather, people don't look at the end of the year and say, oh, what was the score? What happened? They just say, oh, they won the game. So, but we'll learn from it. We got another 7 days off, another 6 days off. So it's kind of choppy. But I'm excited. We're 7-4. We got a championship under our belt. Like we're doing great things, and we're doing it with 5 freshmen.
Coach, the end of the first half closed well, and then started the second half great. Like, how important was that today?
That middle 8 of that game was crucial. Because it was a close game early on, and with 4 minutes to go, I said, if you up 5, you need to get to the locker room up. I think we ended up going in the locker room up 6. I wish we would have, executed and took care of the ball a little bit better in that patch, where maybe we could have went in the locker room up 10. But we were +1 in the front side of the middle 8, the last 4 to go into the locker room. But then actually when we came out of the locker room, we went +5. So I thought that moment of the game really gave us some separation and put us in position to win the game. Yeah, I think it's trust and communication, right? Obviously, communication. No relationship is good without good communication. I don't care if it's a team. I don't care if it's a marriage. Like you're gonna break down. And so, but we got a group that's trying to learn to hear and accept the voice of their teammate. Like, it's a lot of new guys that haven't been in these battles. Everything's new for us, right? So I'm glad that we've seen everything we're seeing, but everything's new for us. So I think as we continue to build trust and build communication and build, ability to hear each other's voice and respond, our team will continue to improve, which like we always do. And so I'm excited about that.
So two tough stretches of these big gaps in games with such a young team, and how do you keep these guys focused through those periods?
Well, last week you could do the best you can in terms of trying to practice and things of that nature. But I also thought they needed to rest. I thought they needed to study. Guys got exams. So you got to look at the student part of it too, and the personal, the humanity part of it. Like, we had did a lot of games and got exams coming up, and guys have missed some class and they got to study. So we try to balance practice and rest and allowing them to study. I think this week, from learning from what happened this past week, because you never know how a team is going to respond with 6 days off. And if you've never been with the group, this group hasn't been with me, I haven't been with them. Like, so we're trying to learn everything on the fly. So, but I think what we learned last week is, hey, maybe this week we maybe can bring in officials one day and simulate a game, to break up the week. And maybe that'll help us, right? So everything is a learning experience. But my joy is coming from trying to figure out how to help this group climb a hill that's in front of them that is there. And it's like, the mountain doesn't care. Like, you got to keep climbing. So my joy comes from that, and I'm really excited about it. We got good guys, we got good players, but everything's new, everything's coming fast, and everything's new.
Talk about your ACC home opener against a team you might not have a book on yet, or not very familiar with.
Yeah, I know the staff, I know the coach, good staff. I actually worked with one of the guys at Wichita State years ago, but hadn't studied them, seen a little bit, and I got a week to study them. So, I'll really try to learn from this game tonight first and figure out what do we need to be better at, guys. Try to learn from some things, and then I'll get into next opponent probably Monday evening.
Anything else? We'll go to Dan on Zoom.
Coach, there were virtually no fast break points in this game. Just half court offense, half court defense when it gets into that situation. What are some of the advantages, and disadvantages to having that slower pace when you don't have those fast break points?
We would have liked to have more opportunities in the open court, but I thought the game was going at a good pace. It was 36-30 at half. We had broke down a few times on defense, so I'm like, clean up a few breakdowns. They should have 24 points. And we left points on the table. So they should have had 24. We should have had 38, 30. So the game could have been different. It's a possession game, right? A couple possessions here on defense, a couple possessions on offense. So I thought the pace was fine. Our wings could have got out more. We could have pitched it ahead and maybe get a few more baskets, but the pace was fine. 36-30 at half, and we gave a few baskets away. So sometimes when we play games, I can look at the scoreboard and figure out if it's our pace. And I thought tonight, in this game, it was our pace, but we just needed to execute a little bit better and clean up a few defensive breakdowns, and we would have been up 14 at half.
Not to dredge up bad memories. I know Dave McLaughlin up at Dartmouth used to be Stonehill's head coach. Chris for Stonehill was his assistant there. Were there similarities that you were able to draw off of from the Dartmouth game to what this was, knowing that they were the connections and that they might play the same style?
Yeah, McLaughlin, really good coach, really good guy. I like him a lot. My son and his son play AAU together. Like, he came in and got us on a one-day prep. That was on me. I told my players, that was on me. You win a championship and play a game 36 hours later, that was on me. I'll take that one. It is what it is. But he's a good guy, and I like him, so I'm happy for him, right? So a lot of similarities, McLaughlin also worked for Northeastern with Bill Cohen. Me and Bill Cohen had wars for 7 years in the CAA. So, I was very familiar with what was going to happen tonight and how they would play. I think the thing that jumped out to me when I saw Stonehill, they had 5 seniors, multiple grad transfers. Like, that's an experienced team. Like, and you got to beat them. They're not going to beat themselves when they're old like that. And we had to beat them. We beat them at the end, but it took 40 minutes to beat them.
It just made me think when you just mentioned Bill Cohen, the connection to Al as well, and the fact that you with BC and everything that there are all these connections in general. But for you, how do you kind of just see that from the coaching box where you've come up here and now you see all these links and are a part of it as well?
Yeah, again, it's just a lot of guys up here there's a lot of programs up here. So we play a lot of the local teams and played Harvard and we played, some of these teams, and there's good coaches. And a lot of times when you're the team that's, quote unquote, in the higher level league, everybody expects you to beat those teams, right? But it's parity now. And so if you run into a team that's got juniors and seniors and they've been together for multiple years, you got to play. And so I think that's what I'm seeing. So much parity now in college basketball. You can't go into no game assuming anything. You got to go execute at a high level, and you got to defend and rebound at a high level, and then let the chips fall where they may. But when you don't do that, don't look at the jersey name. You know, you can win or lose any game.